I regret not making my marriage work, and now my ex-husband is happily remarried. Oh dear, if that does not wet the palate, I don't know what will. Gentlemen, sit back, relax, and I will take you through this particular tale. When I was in my early 30s, I divorced my husband. We didn't have any major issues. Our relationship was just challenged after having kids. I was a stay-at-home mother, and I expected him to do more of the housework and childcare when he worked full time. He did help me when I asked, but I started to ask more of him, and I burnt him out. I used to have him wrapped around my finger, and I used that as an advantage to get exactly what I wanted. He eventually got tired of it. I started threatening to divorce him, and he said he knew the baby was just stressing us out and he would like to make it work. But when I was 30, I thought I was still a great catch because I'm very beautiful for my age. I lost my mom bod, so I thought I could do better than him, so I left. I got our house in the divorce and we share joint custody of our son. Fast forward now, I'm 41 and still single. My ex-husband is 41 and got remarried to a 31-year-old woman who is incredibly beautiful. They had their daughter 3 years ago. He bought a new house. My son loves going to his dad's to spend time with his other family, and I'm not going to lie, it makes me incredibly jealous. She has it all. She took my husband, she took my kid, she took my life that was once mine. And all I have is the house we created our family in, and now I live in that empty house. I'm 41, I've gained 20 pounds, I've got wrinkles, and I'm alone and miserable. I've had short-term relationships after the divorce, but they never worked out. Men just don't want an old woman like me with a child. I've noticed that men with kids just have a better time dating with kids than we do, and I hate it. Wow. I wish I could bottle the moral of the story. I wish I could put it in like vials and I could sell it over the counter to young women in their 20s who are deluded into the fact that they can have it all. Unfortunately, hindsight is 2020, and if you do not learn to be grateful and recognize that your role as a woman is protecting your value, then you will inevitably end up in this particular individual's circumstances. Now, I don't want this to be a video bashing women. I never want you to come away from my videos feeling hopeless or angry or any lower negative emotion. That's not my point here. My point here is to inspire you to hope that though many men, and you might be one of these men who are in the grips of depression and anxiety in your early, mid, or even late 20s thinking, Joseph, I don't see a way out of this. Remember how market value works. Remember that as you get older as a man, you get more valuable. Remember, unlike women, you do not have a time ticking clock that is slowly depreciating very, very quickly. Know that you have that knowledge now. And again, no slight to women. If you are aware of this reality that what men value is purity, youth, and the ability to bear children, then you will of course protect that with all your might. One of the most imperative things I've always told my clients and my close friends about the woman that I will eventually settle down with is a fundamental value that she is going to have is she's going to be aware of this dynamic and she is going to have gratitude. I laugh sometimes, or my friends laugh to me because I say, I want her to have suffered in her life. I want my future wife to have had a difficult childhood, meaning maybe she's from a third world country. Maybe she's from a country where, it's difficult to get food on the table, because it is women of this particular background who do not appreciate the realities that they have. She had it all. She says it herself. She has it all. My husband, my children, the life that was once mine, my home. And yet I believe I can do better. I believe I am entitled to more. It's not how things work. I pray for you gentlemen watching this video now, you high vibrational, loving, compassionate, divine and generative men. You meet a woman who acknowledges this as a reality, who is not deluded in the fact that her looks and her values are going to appreciate over time, but consequentially, depreciate just as the market dictates it will. I'm not saying anything. This isn't my opinion here. It is the reality of things. And she recognizes that there is enormous value in being feminine, in being a stay-at-home mother, being a mother raising a child. That's the best job in the world. Raising the next generation of the human race, instilling values and virtues that are essential to the communion of the human race. But you can do better than that, can you? There are more important things that you have to offer the world. You have you've shaken off that mom bod, and you are more deserving of that. There is something more greater that you align with. Is there? You see the delusion, and you know what? Maybe it's not her fault. In all essence, it's probably not her fault. She was brainwashed by this feminist propaganda that being a stay-at-home mother is not valuable, and working for a boss in a cubicle is more fulfilling and contributes more to society. Oh, how we have fallen. I pray for women like this that there can be recourse, and fundamentally, she has learned a lesson. But if she'd recognized that when she was 30, she might be in a position now where she still has those things. And these things get more valuable the older and older you get, especially as a woman, because again, your assets begin to depreciate. Gentlemen, these are not theories. These are cold, hard facts. Speak soon.